I was talking to Peter Piper the other day, and he told me that he picked a pepper, and I was like, "What are you doing out here picking peppers?"
Wait.
Yeah.
You hear that?
What's that?
Is that what I think it is?
Boss Talk. Welcome back to another episode of Boss Talk for your weekly gems and your growth. All right, so we are excited. We are back in here again. I got me in the building. I got Cam in the building, and we got somebody special, y'all. Let me just say this. We came across this YouTube channel almost a year ago, and we just see. You know how people show houses and, they give house tours and they talk about stuff. But once we came across this guy.
Can't watch anybody
else.
You
can't watch anybody else because he gives detail. He knows what he's talking about. And we are honored to have him on here. And he recently took a bet on himself. So we're here to talk about that today. Everybody, give it up for Enes. What's going on?
Thank you for having me, guys.
No,
I'm honored. I'm honored,
for
dude.
For sure. You know what? How do you pronounce your last name?
So it's a difficult one.
Okay.
Real Turkish way would be Yilmazer.
Yilmazer.
There you go.
Yilmazer.
That Z is a little sharp, but like Americans end up saying Yilmazer and then like Yilmazer. So either way, it's fine by me. Okay. I'm not one of those people that are like picky about the name. I'm easy.
Okay. All right. Well, yes. So today we are going to talk about something that is near and dear to our heart and near and dear to Enes. And once we spoke, and it's just about betting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because in life, you have to bet on yourself in order to, advance, in order to grow. And we're just excited to talk about it. I know Cam wanted to lead off with the first question, and we can just dive into it.
Yeah, for me, I feel like betting on yourself, that's the key to my happiness. Yeah. Like, that keeps me alive. And, like, one of my biggest fears in life was having regrets. I even have it tatted on my wrist because I never wanted to get old and be like, what if I would have went for it?
You don't want to live with that.
Exactly. I'm like, what if I would have went for it? So I wanted to know, what was it that made you, because we watched your video when you announced that you're leaving your agency. Mm-hmm. What was it that made you say, okay, I'm going to bet on myself?
Yeah.
Well, so many things kind of worked out in a way that they worked out. But my life is basically at all times betting on myself. Mm-hmm. This is my third career, I tell people. I used to be a professional athlete. Then I kind of
What you was playing, Enes?
I was a 3-time world champion professional windsurfer.
3-time world champion.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I'm not much of a bragger about myself.
You better than me. I'm bragging. I was a 3-time world champion. But yeah, go ahead.
Mikey will always slip it in. Like every time sometimes we meet people, they're like, "Oh, yeah, he used to be also a 3-time world champion."
That's cool. That's
very cool.
Yeah, that's
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Then I retired from that because I was like, well, I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
There's not much of growth here.
Yeah.
Then I started flipping homes, investing. I started from zero there. I built it up all the way to a really successful company.
Gotcha.
I was like, well, this is good, but I need the next challenge. I literally sold everything, moved to LA to pursue this journey of getting into luxury real estate.
Yep.
Literally 2 to 2.5 years later, here I am. So my life has evolved around betting on myself.
Yeah.
And to me, the basics behind that is if you cannot bet on yourself, how do you expect people to trust you or be able to take risk on you?
Skin in the game.
Exactly. You got to be able to say, you know what, I believe in myself.
Yep.
I don't care what the end result is. I'm going to take this chance. And I'm going to go for it. So.
Yeah, I said it's like taking the training wheels off of the bike. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been training. Like you said, you already did one career. You did another career. So by the time you are ready to bet on yourself fully again, it's easy. You just take the training wheels off and you go full speed ahead. And it's always going to be scary at first, but what's life without without a little bit of fear?
Always. And every time you take these journeys, keep in mind you're going to run into difficulties.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, how well prepared you are, how good of a plan you have, I don't care. When you try to push the limits of something or you try to, outgrow yourself, you're going to come into challenges. And to me, I think one of the differentiating points of that is every time I run into challenge, especially now that I have years of experience on many things, I'm like, why am I running into this challenge? Of course, I'm going to solve it. I have that confidence in me. But as I'm solving it, what can I learn from this?
Gotcha.
And why this is happening to me? Because I tell people when you have good intentions, right? You want good for people. Whatever you do, you put your heart and soul into it. And you work hard, then you should be afraid of nothing. Because you have all your intentions aligned so well that you shouldn't be afraid of anything. So with these intentions, when I run into problems, I take a step back. I'm like, why this is happening to me?
Yeah.
And I'm going to solve it, but How can I avoid this moving forward? And what can I learn from this? And I swear to you, every single time, there's such a big message, such an amazing message in there. And I try to grab those messages and then kind of take it with me as my journey continues.
And I think that's, I was
about to say, that's like the Will Smith quote, like the best things in life on the other side of fear.
Yeah.
So that's what like motivates me. Like if I'm scared, I should do this.
I gotta do it.
It may be a blessing on the other side of that. Like, who am I to stop my blessing by being scared? Like, I got to keep going. Absolutely. One thing I was going to say about betting on ourselves that I learned over the years is that it's not a one-time decision.
Nope.
Like, you got to bet on yourself every day. Like, every day I wake up, I got to make decisions. Like, I'm still betting on myself. I got to keep going so I don't quit. Is there anything you have, like a routine or a mantra, or do you have a why that makes you like, I'm gonna keep going
now
on this journey.
You're on your own schedule now and things of that nature. And it brought me to this quote that said, "You can't expect to succeed if you only put in the work on the days that you feel like it." So we have to put in the work on days that we don't feel like. So, like you said, like, do you have a certain routine or thing that you go about, or?
So a lot of people ask me this.
Yeah.
Throughout my life, whether I was a professional windsurfer, my flipping career, everybody always asked me like, "Enes, why you work so hard, dude? Like." Take it easy. You have the money. Like, you don't have to prove anybody that you're good at what you do. Like, and I always worked so hard. And for years, I think I somewhat answered it. But now that I'm at age of 30, kind of I have a better outlook on my life and how I feel about things. The truth is, I'm always so motivated about future.
Gotcha.
And what I can put together, right? When this YouTube journey was 6 months in, I was like, oh my God, there's so much that could be done. We can take this to so many different levels, which I'm happy to talk about. I was like, this is so exciting. So now, when you think about, when you're that motivated about your future, tell me how you're gonna not work and go have lunch with your friends and take 2.5 hours. Or like Saturday, you're gonna be like, I have all these goals, I have all this vision, and I'm very motivated, but I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm just gonna go to the beach. And I'm just gonna chill, have a couple drinks, and then I'll just go back and sleep. I can't do that. So number one, I think I'm very motivated because I always see the bright side of the future, and I'm excited for that. And I just know if I can put these things together, I can help so many people. I can do so many cool things, and that keeps me going. And love for progression. I love that. Next morning I wake up, I'm a little bit better. Whether it's my personal knowledge and or my craft, I don't care. I love that feeling of progression.
Was there someone in your life that you looked up to that you saw that from, like growing up, like a family member or a mentor that made you so motivated to keep going after everything?
I think it's partially my dad. So my dad is a doctor. He's the hardest working person I know.
Doctor.
And I hope they are. My life is in your hands.
Absolutely.
Don't want a lazy doctor.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. He's such a hardworking person, and he cares about his craft and his people so much. And I think I've separated from my parents at age of 17 because I moved to US. So ever since, although I've been seeing them, our relationship has been distant. So I took a lot of those hardworking attitudes. Be humble, When someone gives you an opportunity, be appreciative, and do your best for them. A lot of those values kind of grew in me over the years, and just you got to feel good about what you do. Whatever you do, you got to put your passion into it. You got to just take pride in it, and that's what I've been doing, and it just worked out.
And I think that's why even with Boss Talk for us, like, it's separate because we do skits and all type of stuff, but this is a whole separate entity. But we essentially, we started from zero. I think for people like us, entrepreneurs and people who bet on themselves, we get excited about starting from zero because we know that each step, we just know it gets bigger and bigger. Even if you get 2 followers one day,
but one follower another. The first channel to grow that to 1 million, that was years of work.
And so once you already have that mindset and that progressive mindset, you just know, like, all right, I just know if I keep going, it's only good things gonna happen from here. And I kind of wanted to ask you, because you spoke about Mikey earlier. For those of you who don't know, Mikey is this camera guy who was near and dear to our heart as well, So
he's the best.
So Mikey, shout out to you. You couldn't be here with us, but
he'll be watching.
But what would you say, like, when betting on yourself? How do you know the right people to bring along with you when doing that? Because when you're betting on yourself and you either ask somebody to come along or they agree to come along, now you feel a sense of like, all right, this has to work because I'm doing it for all of us.
Or have to be able to look him up as them.
Yeah,
as
you
well,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So, like, how'd you decide that fact when building your team, when betting on yourself?
So, it really depends what kind of point you are in life.
Got you.
But number one thing I look at in people is intentions. Do these people mean well? Are they there because they just want money and they want to get the hell out? Or they like you, or they're inspired by you, or they care about you, or whatever they do, they just have good intentions in it, right? That's one of the key factors I consider when I bring people around. So let's see. We have obviously Mikey since day one. Then we have Jason. We have Del, our new videographer / editor. And then I have 2 assistants basically.
Gotcha.
And all these guys, if you met them, you're gonna be like, man, these are a dope group of people.
Yeah,
These are good guys. Like if you met them in a casual setting. So I care about intentions. The other thing that I try to look for is if they can grow with us.
Okay,
So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
one of the challenges I run in life, when I dial into something and when I start working on it, I just find all the loopholes.
Gotcha.
I kill all the efficiencies and I perfect the game.
Gotcha.
That's why it started from a GoPro channel to now, arguably the highest produced or best quality home walkthroughs in YouTube. We got it there in 2 years, and we're competing with Architectural Digest, HCTV,
No, you're
and that
killing
kind
it.
of stuff.
You're killing it.
Thank you, thank you. And so to me, when you work at that kind of efficiency and perfectionism, can they grow with you, and can they keep up with that demand? Now that's where it gets challenging, because you want people that are hungry and new, but at the same time, you want people that can adapt quick, be sharp, and understand. And it's my job as the head of the group and CEO, let's just call it. I'm gonna have to grow in multiple layers, so it's gonna be a little bit more harsh on me. But if I can give them specific tasks, allow them to stay motivated and perfect their craft, now you have a crew that is game changer.
Yeah,
and that's what we try to build.
I would say that's definitely true. A quick backstory on us: like when we first started in college, our group, we made videos for 2 years. This was before like YouTube was really paying. We didn't get paid. We did it out the pure passion and the intention. Like we're doing something, we love this, and then it got deleted. YouTube deleted our channel. 60,000 subscribers, over 200 and some videos. Some false flagging. This is before YouTube really had like the
stuff.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Gone. That day we were down, but the next day we said we're gonna keep going. Started a new channel and built that to 1 million. And that's when I knew I can go on the journey with these guys. So when you said finding their intention and seeing when these obstacles happen, what they do, how they react is very important.
Because what you would have known easily if everybody would have been like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out. No, I don't want to do that.
So easy.
Yeah.
And then the second test is when we decided to move to LA and everyone quit their jobs and said we're gonna do this. So that's all right. I can vouch for these guys. I can go to war with these guys. If I got to burn the ships and win this war,
then we got to do it.
We gonna win this war.
You got to do it, dude. And it's an awesome feeling when you can find people like that. And it's the way I see this. Obviously, I'm the face of the channel and I'm kind of running the operations. But at the same time, I see it as life is short. You're getting precious time of these people, and they're dedicating their time to you to kind of build your brand and grow with you, right? So I try to frame or get them in a situation where they can excel at their craft, give them new challenges. We spent so much time and so much money in camera gear. But I knew if I got that camera gear, that was another thing that was going to push them. But they weren't afraid. I was like, if you guys are not afraid, I'm not afraid.
Then let's go.
Let's put the money down.
Yeah.
It's all good. You guys probably going to suck in the first 2 to 3 shoots, but eventually you guys will figure out because I know you guys.
Yeah.
And I love that challenge. Yeah. And I know they love that challenge. So it's nice to have that synergy working.
Yeah. I love that you said that, because we always say that. Just start. When people ask us, just start. We started off, we had a handy cam.
Dude.
A handy cam.
You guys know how good these iPhones work? It's mental. Don't even get me started. $200 audio setup and iPhone. You're a legit vlogger.
I'm sure people reach out to you and are like, Enes, I love your channel. I want to do the same or whatever. You just got to start. You just got
to be bad. Yeah. But you going to get better. Yeah. You can't wait till it's never going to be perfect.
That's what we're going to start saying to people. Be bad. Just be bad at first and go from there.
One of the biggest problems I see in this current generation. They always complain about what they don't have, and they always overlook what they do have. Dude, life is not about what you have. Life is all about what do you do with what you have. I mean, I praise this in any aspect of life. It's all about, I have iPhone 5, but guess what? I'm going to make the best video possible with this iPhone 5.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'll take tomorrow when it comes. But for now, all I got is iPhone 5, so I'm gonna work with that. Just shut up and do it.
Yeah. When you, I want to backtrack a little bit. When you went from, because an athlete, going from an athlete to flipping houses it's two different things.
Very different things.
So what were the challenges in betting yourself in that aspect? Because like if I bet on myself, if I go from doing this to just video editing, it's not too far apart, but
you're close.
You're close, but you went from windsurfing to flipping houses. Like what
house surfing?
Yeah, house surfing. And so in that, what was the challenges in betting yourself in that aspect? Like, did you or what were your difficulties kind of trying to adjust in that
transition?
Area? Yeah.
So obviously there are two different jobs or genres of business.
Yeah.
So a little bit of information for you guys. I quit windsurfing. Let's see. I think it was around like end of 2015, 2016-ish. So till that point, I was a professional windsurfer, and I had it all. What I mean by that is I had 7 sponsors.
Sheesh.
I was making really good money. I was sponsored by Turkish Airlines for the last 7 years.
Oh, man.
I never flew anything but business class.
Dang, I should have knew you back then.
Yeah, you should have. I was traveling 15, 20 countries. I was sponsored by windsurfing, the best windsurfing brands. Like, I lived a life that probably 70, 80% of the world would be like, that's how I want to live.
Yeah.
I want to travel the world, windsurf, and compete. So I was in a really good place. But the problem was, I've been to South Korea. I've been to France 6, 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Canary Islands 8 times. It became repetitive, right? And I found myself in a position where I'm like, just because you're in a good spot in life with whatever you do, that doesn't mean that's how much you can grow. You can take new challenges, and you can see where those challenges take you. And real estate and house flipping business got into my blood in 2010 when I bought myself a house right after the crisis.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was doing pretty well with windsurfing. I saved up quite a bit of money. At that time, I was a couple-time world champion already, so I've got sponsored money, this and that. And in Texas, I bought this house that was a flip. But because the crisis happened, they couldn't finish the flip. Yeah. So it was about 85% done. I was like, I can finish this.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know is by the time I bought the house and closed on it, I had like $10,000 left. I was like, holy shit. Keep in mind, I was an international student. I couldn't borrow money. It was all cash buy, but I was living in Texas back then. So I told my dad. My dad was like, well, what do you need? I was like, well, we got to put a fence up. We got to paint, put a couple moldings. He's like, we'll do it. So normally every year they would come and visit me for a month during their winter break. So in that winter break in 2010, we finished off the house, and I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah.
This is like building something with your hands.
It feels good, yeah.
It went into my blood back then.
Yeah.
So between 2010 to 2016, I've actually invested heavily on real estate.
Gotcha.
I bought a ton of land. So I've kind of built up the foundations of it.
Gotcha.
And in 2016, I was like, look, I've educated myself. I have contractor friends. I watch so many videos. I think I can tag along and finish a project.
Yeah.
Windsurfing is enough. I'm well off financially. If I cannot bet on myself, who am I going to bet on?
Yeah.
I retired from windsurfing. All my windsurfing buddies were like, you're out of your mind. You have the sponsors and position in life that we're trying to get to. And you're quitting. You're like, you live the best windsurfer life, because I was so business oriented that I had a ton of sponsors.
Yeah.
I had the thing dialed in.
Yeah.
Efficiency, figuring out the loopholes and all the little things and perfecting it. So I quit, and I was like, okay, I have money. I can just wear my fancy Nikes, walk around these projects, tell people what to do. Or I can take the full 360 approach, put on a belt,
and let's do it.
Put on my boots, and be one of the workers.
Yeah.
I swear to God, for like 2 to 3 years of flipping, every time people come to my projects to bid, like contractors, they're like, where's the owner? I'm like, you're looking at it. They thought I was a worker.
Yeah.
I worked knee to knee with all my employees for the 3 year span.
That's great.
From plumbing to framing a house, pouring a concrete, to rewire an entire addition, there's not a single trade I actually don't know how to do.
I know what you're about to say. Right, I'm about to say it. That's what separates your videos, because we're learning as we're actually touring.
Yeah.
So that's what gets me excited. All right, what am I going to learn today? Like our favorite thing is when you say, and this one has a poo niche. Like, if the house don't have a poo niche, I don't want it.
You made it to where if the house don't have a shampoo niche, we don't want it.
I love it.
The stucco finish, all this stuff. We finished. We sitting there. They learn. I'm like, this guy knows it, but it's because you were in the dirt. And when you bet on yourself, you got to go in like that.
You got to go in.
Yeah, you got to.
And I want to say this. It's. I'm gonna kind of touch back on. it's all about what do you have. What do you do with what you have?
Yeah.
Who would have thought flipping $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 homes in Texas? Because margins are so tight, I end up taking along a lot of the work myself. As much as I was the owner and the contractor, I was also like, well, on this project, I'm going to do all the plumbing myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to do framing of this addition myself. I had 2 guys that were working for me full time. All that intricate knowledge of construction 3 years ago was helping me flip $100,000, $200,000 home. Right now, they're allowing me to tour $30, $40, $50 million homes and talk in a way that is almost impossible to replicate.
Yeah.
Because anybody in that space who can open up the doors that we managed to open up have no idea.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm passionate about it because I know how much work it is to just replumb an entire room. And I'm passionate about it. So when I talk about these things, this is not because, okay, here I can flex about this. No, I know how much work went into that. I did it myself. So when I look at it, I'm like, screw everybody. I'm going to honor this guy's work. He put a ton of work in this cabinetry, and I see it, and I understand it. And I think people just somehow read that.
Yeah, and I like how Mikey challenges you in certain areas. He'll be like, Enes, why did they do this? And you'll either A, if you don't know, you don't know, but B, you'll break it down and tell. And I'm like, that's good. You always pushing the envelope, just trying to keep you on top of your game and stuff like that. So now it all makes sense. You say you've been on the inside.
I've been on the inside.
You've been on the inside. It literally makes sense now.
And when I watch other people, they're touring the house, I'm like,
it ain't the same.
It's boring. I'm not learning anything. It's just, I can do this. I can say, this is the bathroom.
Yeah.
But you're telling me what's the details, why it's worth this price, and why you should invest in this. I was like, that's really cool.
And you betting on yourself is what you're doing. You're just inspiring others. You know what I'm saying? You're inspiring people because it's like they see you doing that and they're like, oh, well, it might be another up-and-coming real estate,
Asian,
boy, girl, whoever, and they be like, I love the way Enes does his houses. You could be leading the generation of better YouTube tour, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think we are kind of
whole thing.
Building this genre, and it's becoming more intense, and I think a lot of people are inspired by the journey.
Yeah.
I do get a lot of messages where they're like, dude, I started following you guys in 10K subs. It was 2 buddies just in a car touring houses.
Yeah.
Now this is becoming like such a serious operation. I'm like, you could do the same. A lot of people ask me, how can I start? Just start.
You just gotta start.
Dude, you got a 1-bedroom condo, tour the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And then you know what? There's a beauty in a 1-bedroom condo.
Yeah.
And it's your job to see it, and it's your job to translate that into a video and give it to the audience.
He's gonna tour this loft that we got in here next, guys. This little square we got in.
I love it. Let's go.
I think another thing that separates you is you comment back.
Yeah, that's true.
Watching your earlier video, you would comment every comment. You would respond to every comment. I'm like, where does he find the time to even do that? I'm like,
we don't have it. We just hustle it.
See, that's a bar right there.
Because I'm like, you have to take advantage of every little time. Like, if you're in the Uber, get on there and you comment. I'm assuming everything.
That's great that you just said. You was like, we don't have the time. We just hustle it.
We just hustle it.
And that's a bar in itself, because sometimes you literally don't have the time, but you got to figure it out.
Like, you're walking on the street, you're trying to get some fresh air, and you're kind of down, you don't want to work. Guess what? You have your phone in your hand and you can knock out probably 30, 40 comments.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Please.
No, I'm saying I love that you say that, because when people say, I don't have the time, I used to say that too, but I was like, I can wake up early.
Yeah.
That's why I found it. I wake up at 4:45 now. And I find time, it's quiet, no one's gonna bother me, there's no phone calls, and I get the extra stuff I need done.
I want y'all to know
it's
7:30 a.m. here, because
and he's been wanting to do this, and I'm like, this is the only time, and I want to do it.
Let's do it.
No, this is nothing. This is
late. I told him, I was like, we up,
I love it. And when you told me, you're like, hey man, you're early birds, like we're gonna be up, I was like, love it.
Yeah.
Like we're already aligned.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I love that. And let me tell you something, like right now, I kind of manage the operational side of things. Mike kind of runs the production side of the things. The amount of relationships, we're working with a couple big brands. We're going to soon announce some really big stuff.
Can't wait.
We're doing so many big things.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I still have time for commenting, and I still have time for other stuff. It's all about how much you want it, how respectful you are to your time and others' time, and you make the best out of it. So to me, there's always a time. And in regards to commenting, that's a subject that is very near and dear to my heart. When people give you 10, 15, 20 minutes of their time, they sit down at wherever they are and they watch your content. Then they go on YouTube and they leave you a comment. That's a big honor, dude.
No, it is. It is.
That's a big honor.
Especially in this generation where we have short attention spans. Like a 20-minute video. Yeah. Like when we were doing sketches at first, everyone like, got to be 5 minutes. We was like, we're going to do 10, 15. We're going to tell stories. And people started watching. We like, see, you just got to go for it.
You got to go for it.
I love that.
And you actually inspired me, or you inspired me now to think about it, like, to dive in more to our comments, like, you know, with our brands that we got going on, because you're right, you do got time, and you never know, like, that one comment, how it could affect somebody's day, or how to just keep them coming back, returning. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's a great thing.
I mean, just think about it. Your content or whatever you produce makes people in a way that I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna leave a comment, because you know, when you see thousands of comments, everything becomes kind of just numbers, right? When you see millions, right now we're pulling like 500,000 views a day on the entire channel. That's a crazy amount of number, but these are people, and these people live their lives, and I just never knew that our content could affect them in a way. They're like, hey, Mondays are tough, but at the end of the day, I just come home, lay back, and we watch your content, and we escape the reality for 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, that's dope. And the fact that we accomplished that, I love that. So I respond to those comments because I know it means a lot. I mean, where do you see a 700,000 subscriber channel to be like, hey, man, thank you so much. Really. And it's us. It's me and Mikey. And we see it. Even if we cannot reply, I at least read most of the comments. So
or like it, or, you know, try to do what you can. It's just funny. Like
I was going to say, that's how we built our channel. Like, consistency makes it a habit for a lot of people to consume the content. Like when we first started, we was like, we're gonna do this like TV. We're gonna put out a sketch every Sunday at 7. And if we miss, they will be in our comments, Twitter. Where's the episode? I need this. And we did that for 4 years straight. And that's what helped us build. So what you're doing Monday, it's a habit for me. When I wake up on Monday, I'm like, Rome, let me know when you're ready.
Like even on our busy days, like it's been times like it might get late and we be like, Enes.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. What are we doing?
I love it.
And we'll literally sit in here. Our roommates have came and watched. They were like, "What y'all watch?" We
put everybody watching this.
I appreciate you guys, man. I'm honored. We're honored
because you're teaching, like, and because we of course we might not know it now, but when we're ready to buy our house, we're gonna start naming stuff, and they're gonna be like, "Where you got? Like, how do you know what you know?" And we're gonna be like, "We didn't look."
Where's the punich?
I love it. To me, like you see, it's just like like content like that can affect your future. So to me, that's amazing. That's why I push it the way we push it, and like you got to take pride in it. You have to take pride in it. You know?
Do.
I had 2 more questions. So a lot of people, like, when you hear them coming up, they say they're motivated by like their haters or naysayers or people that you can't do this. But when I started betting on myself, I realized I'm not motivated by that. I'm more motivated by proving myself right, not proving them wrong. So I wanted to know, were there any naysayers or people telling you shouldn't do this? You shouldn't leave the agency, keep the, you got a job. Why leave that to do YouTube? Was there any of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, at all times. So I've been very fortunate. I've been surrounded by some really smart people. Growing up, I had great mentors. And you know how a lot of people will be like, well, I messed that up really bad, or I did this mistake. I don't really have a ton of mistakes like that where I can look back and say, that was really bad. So growing up, I was, I had a really good family and I had a lot of good mentors. And as I made these big decisions, of course, there was a ton of people. When I wanted to quit windsurfing, half of my buddies who were professional windsurfers, they're like, are you out of your mind? Like, this is what you build up. You have the sponsors. You literally live expense-free. You have the best board brands, best sale brands. What are you doing? I was like, dude, life is not about, like, just like, you have it good, just keep it. No, life is about challenges, doing new things. I was like, so what next year? I come back to South Korea with you guys, or go to Italy for a competition. It's the same places. We go have the food in the same restaurants. Like, we had it, right? So, of course, when I did that, I had a ton of people that debated me, but also they knew what I was capable of. They're like, well, he's also smart. If he says he's going to do it. When I wanted to drop my flipping career in Texas, people were like, dude, every neighborhood you go, highest price per square foot sold, your houses. I literally had appraiser after appraiser call me, be like, how the hell you sold your property for this price? Like, the neighborhood is like 150, your property sold for 200. How did you even get a mortgage for this? I'm like, well, it was the best in the neighborhood. I picked the best finishes. I care about it, and people pay top dollar. So when I decided to come to LA, a lot of people were like, look, dude, it's expensive. Agency business is crowded. There's a ton of agents. Are you sure you have it so locked in Texas? I was like, well, I did it 3 years ago, and now I will. I'll figure it out. Yeah. If not, it will be a good learning experience. Again, it's all about what you make with what you kind of experience. I was like, worst comes to worst, it will be 2 years. I'll probably be out 100, 150 grand. I could look back and be like, that was a hell of a learning experience. I could always go back to Texas and flip homes and somewhere else. So I was never worried. But I don't think being motivated by haters is necessarily really a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either.
Yeah.
You should be motivated for yourself, dude. Yeah, like, how about you just wake up and be like, I have 2 hands, 2 legs, I'm healthy, and I can learn skills and make, better of myself, and I'm just going to do that.
I think what that goes into, I wrote down a point, like, when you bet on yourself, you have to understand your identity. Because if you don't have no identity, it's going to be hard for you to bet on yourself, because you can be like, I don't believe in myself, or, I don't know who I'm supposed to be, or what. Like, so I think having your identity first is a big part of betting on yourself. It's going to help you out. And you seem like you had your identity locked in you had your identity outside of sports. A lot of athletes sometimes, that's where their identity is.
When they,
so when they leave, it's like, I don't know who I am, what I do, but you weren't tied in there. You were like, I'm a person who wants to expand and grow. This isn't me anymore. That was a part of my life. And I think that's a big part of life too. We have to understand that life has just moments. There's little moments and little pockets. And hey, we may do podcasts for the next 2 years and be like, all right, hey, we done with this. And now, you'll
go to the next challenge.
Do something else.
This is our challenge. This podcast.
Yeah. So that's how it is.
I'll add one more thing to that. So I think one of the problems that I see in our current generation is a lot of people live on fear.
Yeah.
Fear in different levels. Some people fear that if I leave this job, I may not look as cool as I look right now, and I don't know if I can handle that. And I promised myself, even quitting being a real estate agent, I was like, don't live in fear. If you're considering a decision, and when you look at why you cannot jump there, and that element is fear, you have to do it. You have to do it. If you have good logical reasons, and it may not be good for your future, sure, let's debate it. Yeah. But if what's holding you back is fear, hell no.
Yeah.
Go. Immediately adjust fear. That's my promise to myself. I cannot live my life based on fear.
Nope.
And I never will.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If you have any, I had the last one I got is the last question.
The last question. But I want to dive into a little bit of fun stuff real quick. When you go to, could you maybe walk us through a little process of like, talking to these homes, these multi-million-dollar, like how you get into it to show these houses? Maybe like some people would just like to hear how you get into these spaces where you can. Is it just from people you know? Do they reach out to you? Do you reach out to them? And like, how does that like process kind of work?
Well, 2 years ago, it was like I reach out to everybody.
Gotcha. But that goes to betting on yourself too. You're like, all right, I just got to reach out to people, and
I was like, hey man, my name is Enes. I know a lot about construction, and I'm gonna produce this video for free.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to talk highly about your property and showcase it to the world. 100 reach, maybe 2 yeses. It was bad. Like nobody wanted to give. Who would want to give a house to a guy that is not established in real estate business that well? And so it was a lot of no's, and it became somewhat yeses.
Gotcha.
And obviously, with the way we perfected the craft, it started getting attention, especially in the real estate community.
Yeah.
So some agents started to reach out, or when we reach out to someone, it was positively received. Now it's like 60-70% of it is like people reach out and we're like, no. Yes,
gotcha.
We can do that. And I try to pick homes that excites me, because I know if it excites me, it will excite the audience, because I can carry that. I tried to diversify the portfolio also.
Yeah, we seen like when you went to Lake Tahoe and then going to New York and stuff like
that.
Exactly.
And the process is, yes, I do have a lot of friends in LA now. A lot of people respect quite a bit of what we do. And sometimes I do reach out if I say unique property. And the idea is you need to give value to people. So like why they should let you tour their $50 million property. And that goes one of the things that I want to do, quit real estate. I want to take the conflict of interest.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm a third party that only tours homes that he likes. And we'll come in and we'll do a phenomenal job. If you want the sale, I couldn't care less. Have the sale.
Yeah.
Because when I do good things for people, it always comes back. They're like, a lot of people are like, you're doing this, but like they need to pay you at least half the commission. I'm like, I don't care. They're like, how come you don't care? I'm like, dude, when you do good things in life, your value, people will tell you. Like somebody was asking me the other day on an interview. They're like, "What do you do with your social media? How you grow?" I was like, "I don't do shit. I don't do shit. Mikey pops up my Instagram tag at the beginning of the video. That's it, dude. We forget to ask for subscribe for God's sake. We don't. And the reason is, hey man,
it's gonna come back to you. Yeah.
If it's good, you like it, you will subscribe. You're a grown ass person. You don't need me to tell subscribe, hit the like button. No." Yeah. This is the content.
If you like it.
This is what we do. You like it, we appreciate it. Yeah. If not, we understand that too. And that's that. So we build these relationships.
Yeah.
We reach out, and a lot of people, now it's like we're overbooked. We're basically, now we run about like 2 to 3 months in advance, which is crazy of a puzzle to put together. Yeah. And we have a second channel now, Enes Plus, and that's kind of more behind the scenes.
Yeah,
more
I like that.
Like content for us that we enjoy and have fun with. And
but it's a no-brainer for them to say yes, because when I watch real estate shows, they're always trying to do marketing to promote the house. So I'm like, this guy's going to come and just show your house, and he has the audience. Yeah. You never know who's watching. It could be a buyer.
Oh, I mean, the people that I met, getting a straight DM from David Dobrik to people like government individuals from Qatar to, oh my God, celebrities, the people that Afrojack DJ. He's like, dude, we watch your videos. I mean, like, that's I don't want to name drop.
No, but that's great.
Like, these are like very nice people too. David is awesome, and then like so many people reached out to me. I have no idea who's out there watching, and that's what makes it exciting.
You know, it's funny because we're not like these guys who like we get starstruck over celebrity and stuff like that. When I tell you we was excited, when I first told him, I was like, guess who I've been talking to in a DM? And I was making him guess. He was thinking. And then he said, Enes, I was like,
it's the only person I want to meet.
Because you're providing value. That's the thing. When people provide value, you're excited to talk to them. If it's just people that's providing drama and stuff, you're like, I don't care about nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm from Miami and I'm Bahamian. My dad's from Bahamas. I'm like, I'm ready for him to go to Miami. Yeah. And I'm ready for him when he does the island houses. He puts on instead of a suit, put on a floral shirt. We're in the islands.
Miami would be great. Yeah, Miami would be.
I'd be excited.
Well, Miami's in the works, and if we go there, we're gonna do it right. So we're just planning, and I don't want to. Let's just call it like burn my guys out. We're working a lot, 7 days a week, no breaks. So it's one thing, and I told the crew like we need to be able to enjoy our travels.
So, you definitely do.
And I mean, if we go Miami, we're gonna see some crazy stuff. Also on the B channel, we already have plenty of let's just say good connections there. So we're gonna pull off some. We're working with some unique brands. We're gonna do some cool stuff there.
Yeah. What's the question you had?
Last question I had. What's the ultimate goal for what you're building now? Like, is there anything you like? This is what I want it to be. This is who I want to work with. Or what's that?
So I feel like this is a tough question for me to answer because I take the day as it comes.
Yes.
And right now we're growing the channel. It's gonna grow. I can easily see us reaching the 3, 4, 5 million subscribers in a matter of a year or two. I do want to explore other things. I'm sure you guys got a glimpse of it on the B channel, but we have colorful personalities, and our skill set way exceeds over just house tours. So I want to explore. I think we'll be traveling more. We'll be doing more lifestyle content.
Nice.
I want to put a couple documentaries together.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Cultures, countries. I traveled over 30 countries because of my windsurfing career. So
that's our other passion. You don't know how bad we've been wanting to get out of the United States. From this. If it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have been in Japan last year. We'd have been in Ethiopia. We trying to.
But I don't want to go when things are shut down. I can't fully enjoy it.
I want to go.
Like you gotta go Mexico, Baja, and you gotta camp there, like that kind of stuff. Like I don't wanna kind of position myself as this fancy guy. Everywhere we go, we stay in Hilton. That. Like I want that local organic experience. I want to be like I want to go stay in the village with the people who live there. That kind of stuff. So we got some cool ideas, and I like working with brands. Myself and Mikey, we're kind of a bit of a idea box. We partnered up with one big brand, which we'll announce in a bit, in a couple of weeks. And we're partnering up with 2 other brands. Hopefully it will go through. I want to do multi-level, unique marketing, and I kind of want to disrupt the real estate industry a little bit.
That's the type of energy
like
we
disruptors.
like.
The last 10 years in world has been about disrupting a lot of industries.
Yeah,
I feel like real estate hasn't really received this slap.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe we could be the one changing the game
so.
a little
You're on
bit.
your way.
So, we'll see about that.
So.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing would be for anybody out there looking to bet on yourself, what's something you just would just like to tell them if they're watching this and they like, man, I'm a little afraid to bet on myself, but I'm listening to this guy talk and I'm getting excited. Like, what's I guess a couple little things you might just let them know.
So I'm gonna start with my observation over the last few years, especially our generation. Let's say ages from 20 to like 35, 40.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it a little bit of a bullshit. People have this entitlement bullshit. They just, especially in the United States, I feel like I've experienced that a little bit more.
Yeah.
They just feel entitled to stuff.
Yeah.
The moment they start, like, I have to be paid this much, they're always underpaid. They're always never recognized, right? And I think that's a terrible attitude to start anything. Growing up, maybe it's because I grew up in Turkey and I have kind of different values, but how about you just do something for people? Like Casey Neistat was talking about it in one of his interviews. He's like, people always reach out to me, hey, I want to work for you. And he's like, they have this entitled bullshit. That's not fulfilling for me. He's like, dude, you came to me for a job.
like you can't.
I'm not working for you. You're working for me. And that's not necessarily to like degrade them. It's more so like, you need the opportunity. I'm Casey Neistat. I have this thing going already.
I've already worked.
I've already worked. I've already built the name. So one thing that I can suggest people, drop this goddamn entitled attitude. Just be like, hey man, let me just work for you. Let me grab the camera for you. Let me just put something together for you. Any job I done while I was in Texas, I've interned for a city council member for a year. I've done everything. Didn't never ever ask for a dollar. When I got into flipping business, before that to learn the business, on top of doing all the stuff I was doing, I was helping contractors. Dude, I don't want a dollar from you. Just teach me this stuff. Just let me be in your system so I can observe.
Yeah.
And when you go with that kind of attitude to people, instead of giving you 5, people give you 50. It just, the value prop changes.
Comes
right?
back 100-fold, yeah.
So first advice, drop this goddamn entitled attitude. Just go do good stuff for people. And I have 2 things that I consider, it's kind of like my self-check when I go into a project or go into something. And it's partially my religion. I have good intentions for people. I don't want bad for anybody. I hope everybody succeeds. I hope everybody kills it. Whatever they're doing, I have no hate for anyone. I don't have space for hate in my heart, in my mind. I don't want to worry about that. And number 2, I work my ass off. Whatever energy I have, that's why we're meeting here at 7:30, because we have a good Saturday ahead of us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to kill it this Saturday. I'm going to work. I'm going to get my team rallied up. I'm going to inspire people, and we're going to accomplish a lot.
There you go.
When you have good intentions and you work hard, let me tell you something, you shouldn't be afraid of nothing in life. Just close your eyes, horse vision, focus on your goal, and never, ever look back. I guarantee you'll be successful.
We can't put it no better than that. I guess to tell
plug yourself.
Tell the people where they can find you, your channel.
Follow me. YouTube main channel, Enes Yilmazer. Just Enes Mansion Tours. We should be able to pop up. Check out the second channel, Enes Plus, if you want to kind of see more behind the scenes, our more laid back attitude. And then I try to be as active as possible on Instagram. It's Enes Yilmazer LA Instagram, and follow me over there.
Yeah, cool. And, so that's all I got on that one.
I'll sign us out. Well, that was your midweek pick me up. If you're down, we're going to pick you up. If you're up, we're going to take you higher.
Amen. Thank you, Enes. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Peace.